This month we're going to be talking about a lot of different ideas about how you can be successful in 2019. We're going to give you great ideas to make 2019 your very best year in the financial services industry. Every year when I travel around the country, everyone is always a little bit fearful about how do they grow their business next year. And I think 2019 can be your very best year ever. There's a lot of things going our way in the retirement income space. We certainly have a little bit of volatility, but there's a lot of other things that are going on that makes me feel really positive about next year. First of all, we have 10,000 Americans leaving the workforce again this year and for the next 12 years, just like we've had for the last 5 or 6 years. That's an incredible amount of people leaving the workforce, heading into retirement, and never earning a paycheck again. They need a lot of advice on a couple different things. First of all, Social Security continues to be completely misused by Americans. Only 2% of men maximize Social Security at age 70, and only 4% of women maximize Social Security at age 70. So that's a huge benefit and a powerful piece of advice that we have to get familiar with and advise our clients on appropriately. For the last 7 years, we have not really had to worry about rising interest rates and also inflation. But certainly as the Fed eases its policy on interest rates, there's an opportunity for inflation to become a bigger impact on our after-tax, after-inflation income. So we have to think about how do we help our clients get into a position of rising interest rates and rising income to match that inflation rate. And then finally, we're seeing a significant amount of volatility here at year end. We have not seen this type of volatility since around 2008 and 2009. It's a great opportunity to lock in gains and take some of those gains off the table and lock in guaranteed income. So your winning strategy is to be really positive for 2019. Look at your existing client base and then also think about really implementing guaranteed income strategies into your retirement planning aspect for 2019. One of the unintended consequences of the Tax Cut and Jobs Act was the fact that charitable deductions may be harmed in 2018 and beyond. According to the Tax Policy Center, 90% of Americans will lose the ability to do itemized deduction because of the higher standard deduction. That will have a negative effect on a lot of charitable giving. So one thing that you need to be thinking about here at year end and on into 2019 is talking with nonprofits about how they redesign some of their gifting plans. One of the techniques that's been around for years but has been unpopular because of the itemized deduction ability is that of the qualified charitable distribution. That allows retirees who are 70 and a half to take required minimum distributions up to $100,000 and actually transfer that directly to a charity of their choice. What's nice about that is that that is tax-free to them. It goes directly to the charity. They are not receiving that. However, that is not like a deduction where they receive it and then make a donation. The advantage there is that since it's tax-free, it does not count against your combined income, so you are not affecting your taxation of Social Security income coming in. And then also you are not hitting the modified adjusted gross income levels for Medicare premiums. And so you can save thousands of dollars from a taxation standpoint on Social Security, and you can save thousands of dollars for many Americans on their health care premiums in retirement. Those two combined can be a significant savings for the mass affluent and middle America. So your winning strategy is talk to your clients about their charitable contributions for 2018 and 2019. Change their habits, and you can actually benefit their after-tax, after-inflation income. A lot of people believe that the growth of the fixed annuity industry this year is a result of the DOL getting blown up. And that may be the fact, but we really have to be cognizant of some additional regulation coming down the road. The SEC is proposing its best interest contract, and there are 6 states already proposing best interest or fiduciary status for annuities in 2019. So the DOL rule just kind of took a timeout. It's certainly not a dead-end issue. So we have to be really aware of regulation coming down the road. But like we talked about in 2015, 16, and 17, when we were fighting the DOL, we kind of lost sight of some of the tax regulation. Right now, there is pending legislation in Congress that would take away a significant amount of tax benefits on the passing of wealth on annuities from one generation to the other. Right now, the legislation states that they are going to cap the amount that you can stretch your qualified accounts at only $450,000. Right now, there is over $1 trillion in indexed, fixed, as well as variable annuities that have embedded tax gain in there. So that's a significant amount of wealth that was likely to pass over in the next 10 to 12 years. So you really have to think about how can you make a strategy for your clients, recognizing that they may not be able to stretch all of their wealth under the current tax law or proposed tax law. So we have some innovative income riders that allow you to take an exclusion ratio while maintaining control of your asset. But most importantly, when you pass that asset to the next beneficiary, your beneficiaries are in complete control. They can take the cost basis or the non-taxable portion first, and then they can spread out the taxable consequences for the rest of their life. What that does is that puts the family at the front of the line and puts the IRS at the back of the line, which is exactly the position that you want to put your clients' beneficiaries in, not only for their own sake, but also for the sake of helping to capture that beneficiary in your client base in 2019 and beyond. So your winning strategy is take a look at your clients' qualified accounts. Talk to them about how to develop a strategy that meets their income needs as well as the beneficiary's needs for income planning at distribution. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Winning Strategies. You can stay up to date with me on Winning Strategies by following me on LinkedIn. You can also follow me on Twitter at McGeeSpeaks. You can subscribe to the Ash Brokerage YouTube channel, and you can find the Winning Strategies podcast on your favorite podcast platform.